All right, guys, before we go up to the roof, I was going to get everybody set up with EcoStructure, because with Chapmanville Primary, Chapmanville Middle School, the Daikin units do not have microtext, so they've just got the Eco controller. So you manually got to go in through your iPad and turn things on or off, or if you're at the unit, you can jump things out too, just like a typical unit. First, everybody launch Safari. Once Safari is launched, type in HTTPS semicolon, which is the 2 dots, / / and then you're going to write or type 10.40.224.28. And it'll say, this site's not secure. Click proceed. Does everyone have a screen like this? Okay, from here, middle of the ways down, there's a little square with an arrow that's pointing up. Click it, and you're going to get a drop.
You talking about the share button?
It's like the send button, so it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Click that, and then you're going to scroll down to where you see add to home screen, and then you're going to change it from workstation and call it CPS. And what that'll do is it'll create you an app on your home screen. All right, does everybody have the app on their home screen? Okay, I think we can only have maybe five users on at a time through the web. So everyone can't log on, but yeah, you would type in username and passwords HVAC. All right, is everybody ready for the roof? All right, the controllers for these units, they're right here. These units do not have a microtech, so everything's being controlled from here. It's pretty much acts as a regular thermostat. It's simple. Everything goes to here. You've got your common, your red, your green, your fan, Y for cooling. These units, they've got a low ambient control kit to control the fan in wintertime for cooling if needed to be. The gas heat came 2 stages, but we're only using 1 stage. Gas board's here. There's not much to it. Compressor's here. On the back side, your filter access. Your outside economizer.
Has that got 2 transformers?
Yes.
One for the control?
One for the control, and then one for the, so it's isolated. The hot gas coil sits about halfway back. Blower motor's inside here. All your gas is right here. Not much to it. I mean, do you guys have any questions that I can kind of give you answers?
Is it direct drive or inbuilt 3D?
No, it's direct drive. It's ECM direct drive.
Is there a combustion tube access, a door?
No, so you've got to take this whole door off. Your heat chambers sit right here. They go this way.
And that's like on the other side.
No. Now there's an access on the side, which it's on the other side there. It's about a 12 by 12. You can take the screws out to check your tubes, yes.
Are they changed? Is the filters on the unit or in the place?
No, filters are in the unit. They're over here. Your economizer, damper motor's right down here. It's 0 to 10. Yep.
You say micro-channel coils?
No, these are regular coils. Yeah.
How do you clean these?
Regular coil cleaner. Yeah, they're not microchannel.
So the acid
Yeah, the acid, you'll be fine. So, which you guys are, pretty good, but, if you ever had to check the actuator, although it's 0 to 10 volts DC, you still got to have 24 volts AC to power it up before you ever hit the DC.
Got any kind of special safeties or anything like that?
You've got high pressure, low pressure safeties.
No condensate trips or anything?
No condensate trips. It has low ambient control, so once it gets so cold outside, when your cooling comes on, it'll, fan cycle your condenser fan. When we had startup, we actually had problem. It was so cold, those low ambients were holding us out, so we had to jump around it just to get it to run.
What about your heat chamber?
Your heat chamber,
No, I'm talking about safety. Does it have safety?
yes, yeah. You've got all your built-in safeties. You've got flame rollout.
But are they like your high temp? Is it back where the chamber is?
So
Airstream?
you can come over here. I'll kind of show it to you. So you've actually got a safety on the back side in here that's kind of pointing through. That's a manual or a automatic reset, and then your manual resets. There's one,
You ain't got to.
and then you got to pull this.
Okay.
Yeah, or actually you can. Yeah, that's for the heat exchanger. Yeah, you can actually. So if you ever got to get to that safety back there, you can pull this out. Take these 3 screws, slides out, and it's actually middle of the ways.
Is it mounted here, or is it mounted like?
It's mounted
Okay.
back. This coil right here is your hot gas coil,
Reheat.
which we installed all those.
Oh, it's not a.
So in order to get these units on time, we had to pretty much build it, or put some things. We put all the low ambient controls. We put all the hot gas coils. We've already had to replace a couple gas valves. They're not too bad.
Where they say that.
Right here. Yep. That unit right there, we had to replace the heat exchanger. It was building, that gas valve went bad, and it was building up carbon inside, so where it was brand new, we just went ahead and replaced it. Working a lot. Any questions? The units over at the middle school, they're pretty much the same thing, same setup, just electric.
On that vacuum switch, you got one for your fan. Where's the other big one?
Just right down here, just atmosphere. This cooling is like a 2-stage deal too, so when the cooling kicks on, it'll kind of run at like a lower speed, and then you'll hear it ramp up.
And that controls all that, though, don't it?
Yeah, it's controlled off of this, but like I was telling them, honestly, this is your C. If you ever wanted to come up here and work on something, if you had like a jumper, you could go from C to G. You're red, because all you're doing, your commons go straight to everything. You see how they're jumped?
Yeah.
So your ground's already there. All you're doing is throwing 24 volts to each one to bring it on. So you could go from R to G, which yeah, it's your hot.
Yeah.
Not C, R.
R.
Yeah. Which I don't even think we're not tapped into C. C's your blue back here,
Okay.
but we're not tapped into it. So
So if one of these are out, them units won't work.
no, they will. This new stuff, it automatically. So
Well, I mean, that takes away the communication to it, right?
no, while we run 2 like this, we're jumpering to each one, and I lied to you about the last one. The last one is not one cable.
It's got 2 still.
Yeah, it's called a home run pull. So the last one, home run pulls back to your back. So we got a network switch. So we go out of our ASP, instead of going from our ASP to each one jumping it, we go from an ASP to a managed switch, from the switch out,
That makes better sense.
so we can pull a home run pull back so it
'Cause if it
continues
wasn't
the
done that
loop.
way and we did unplug, say, this to the rest of your line, whole line would
Oh yes. So the way it works now is, say if this side stops, it back feeds the other way
On the other way.
back to it.
Yeah.
So it'll pretty much tell you what controller
I
you
got
have issues with.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. There's your CT there.
Your phase, if you get up here and you got a phase imbalance, we install these phase monitors. So they've got a green and red light. So you'll actually see green good, red bad.
Bad.
I was telling him this is your low ambient, so that's kind of,
It just hangs there.
yeah, it just hangs there. So if it's cold out here and you're trying to run the compressor and the fan, you know, the fan's not running and you need it to run, your power comes from here, goes through this, through pretty much, it's a fan cycle switch, high pressure switch,
Yep.
up to here. So,
So this don't have anything to do with your fan either?
no.
So if this was out, your fan would still run?
Yeah, your fan is still running. So,
So this is set up.
see, this is your, pretty much your relay for your fan.
Right.
So you just have to
Okay.
jump these out. It's normally
What
open
would
right
this
now.
cause if this had a problem?
That's just your filter switch.
Just your vacuum switch. See that one unit I was on the other day, man, the vacuum switch caused my fan not to work because it was blocked. It's clogged up.
Where at?
Holden.
Holden. Okay, yeah, I don't think this is set up like that. The way I see this, yeah, it just goes back to here. So it's just
Just a reader is all it is.
pretty much a reader, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So this one here's totally set up differently than the rest of them I seen like that.
Yeah, so these style units are here in the middle school. Over at Logan Middle, instead of this, it's going to have a Microtech, and that's a whole different ball game. You actually can manually go into your Microtech
And get it to work.
and turn on your fan, ramp your fan up, turn on your cooling, ramp your cooling up and down.
There's your two transformers, Mark.
Yeah, transformer, this one is for our controller, this one's for the unit. These new controls, they pull a lot more VA than the old stuff, so you can't really tie onto an existing transformer anymore. Now, if you ever do have to work on the heat chambers, it's a pain in the butt. You got to pull this, pull all these screws, pull your side screws, lift this up.
You already changed one of them, didn't you?
Yeah, the one down from the next.
Yeah, I got you.
Any more questions?
I'm pretty good. I can work my way around.
Pretty basic. All right, these thermostats, combination, temperature, humidity, and CO2, but there's no display, so you're gonna, if you wanna view your CO2 and your humidity, you're gonna have to get on your computer, but I'll have to look, but I think it's 2 degrees up, 2 degrees down.
It is.
So when you're adjusting these, they've got LED lights in the back. Red on bottom, blue on top. They change 3 different colors. Or no, it'd be 2 different colors. So it'd be a light blue and then a dark blue. Same way going down, it'll be a light red and a dark red. And I think once you hit your bottom set point, it'll flash 3 times.
So any of the values, can you calibrate them or just have to be?
I mean, you can go through.
Do like an offset?
Yeah, you've got offsets within the controls where you can adjust it, but as far as, you know, your old sensors where you go through with gas, calibrate your CO2, humidity, yeah, everything's done BS wise as far as your increments where you can change.
You know, if it, on the CO2, you know, if it does any type of self-calibration, sometimes during an occupied, they'll set to 400 or something like that. What?
You know, I don't know that answer. I'll have to get back with you on that one. Yeah. Hassan would have the answer for that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. Guess on to the next.